Happy Monday, everybody. It's June 22nd, and our devotion this morning is titled, Can You Bind? Can you bind the cluster of Pleiades or loose the belt of Orion? Uh, Quoted from Job 38:31. This devotion is by Pastor Gary Ansdell of Hosanna Christian Fellowship. He says, Why would God ask Job in the midst of his trial such a rhetorical question? Elihu had prepared the way by telling Job to listen and to stand still and consider the wondrous works of God. It's from Job 37:14. And in his conclusion in verse 24, he gave an exhortation to be wise of heart. But now God himself was confronting Job with some tough questions. You would think this would be a great time for God to speak with words of comfort to such a needy man. Instead, he says to Job, Prepare yourself like a man to give an answer. Job 47. Job is now brought lower than his emotional and physical pain and sees himself as vile. Job 44. Isaiah, Peter, and Moses all were made painfully aware of God's majesty and might before they could be used in a mighty way. Therefore, fear him. He shows no partiality to any who are wise of heart. Job 37:24. It is true that God humbles the proud. He humbles those uh, that when they, even if they don't fall into sin, he does take people and kind of like when a blacksmith forms a knife, he puts in the flames, and then he beats it to shape, puts in the flames again, continues to beat it into shape, eventually till it looks like a knife. And then he sharpens it, and then he heats it up again and then quenches it, causing it to become strong and usable. And God deals with us in our own personal ways. Sometimes it is more than likely it's in the time of heating and forming. The Bible also uses the idea of with when it comes to purification, um, that of like gold and silver, taking away the dross. And he deals with us all in our own ways, but there's always that molding and sharpening and purification. So if you're watching this and you feel like you are just being beat up by God, and you're a believer, you just feel like you're being beat up by God, remember, he's doing it for a purpose. And he's going to use you some way, shape, or form. The Bible has multiple stories of those kind of people. Jesus suffered for our salvation. So, if you're ever questioning what God's doing in your life, just go to the Word. Go with the understanding that He's going to show you something. Pray. I can't give you any straight answers to what you're going through because I don't know your heart. I know with me, God's put me through the ringer a few times. I put myself through the ringer a few times, and God had to pull me out of it and re-straighten me up. And we have to remember sometimes when we're going through hard things that it's not always because we're in sin. Job was not in sin when he went through all that he went through. He was being faithful to God and being tested with that. So, with this Monday morning, when you feel like you're going through something that you feel like you shouldn't be, take it to God. He'll show you, or He'll encourage you to keep going. God bless you all. I'll see you tomorrow.